I am Bishop Omogene, the president of Camp Grace International. Now, I want us to go on a journey together to discover some deep mysteries about some revelations that Jesus himself displayed in the scriptures. And I'm showing this to you tonight because I believe that in this season, there is something that needs to come inside you that will put you where God wants you to be. Now, Jesus was hanging out with his disciples one day, and then he saw them, they were talking among themselves, knowing fully well that they were still discussing with the people outside and all of that. Then he asked them a question in Matthew chapter 16. It said in verse 13, it says, when Jesus came into the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And then they answered, he said, so they said, some say you are John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. Oh, some say I am John the Baptist. Yes, say yes, sir. Some are calling me Elijah. Say yes, sir. Ha! And some are even saying you are one of the prophets, like Moses or somebody. Say, oh, that's nice. And then he asked a question that shocked me. He looked at them eyeball to eyeball, his own disciples who have been with him for over 3 years. And he said, who do you, my disciples, who do you say I am? And what shocked me was the fact that for a while nobody could answer. How can you be with him? At least if they don't even know him, they know him as Jesus. Somebody should say you are Jesus. He even said, who do you say this I, the Son of Man? They should call him the Son of Man. Somebody should say something. But nobody was saying, because they found out for the first time that they have been with him, but they don't know him. That's why he said to Peter, later that you will discover. And they were looking. And then Simon lifted up his hand and said, in verse 16, Simon Peter answered and said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. Jesus said, Simon, this thing you just said now, it's not flesh and blood that revealed it to you. It's my Father in heaven. Now, this is where I want us to go to. In the kingdom, revelations is what brings forth your elevation. The amount of revelations you have gotten will determine the level of elevation you receive. They have been following him. They saw all of the miracles he has been doing. They were there when he turned the water to wine in John chapter 2 in the wedding in Cana of Galilee. They were there when he was opening the blind eyes, when he was everything he did, they saw. But yet they did not know who it was. Until this day, and Peter said, you are the Christ. When he said you are the Christ, the word Christ is not the surname of Jesus. Christ is not the surname of Jesus. Get that clear. Christ actually is from the Greek word Christos, which actually means the anointed one or the chosen one. So he says, you are the anointed one, you are the chosen one. And Jesus said to him, he said, flesh and blood have not revealed this to you. Then he said, and I want you to get this clear. He said, from today you will not be Simon. Simon used to be unstable, double-minded. He said, but now you will be Peter. And upon this rock I will build my church. Upon this revelation that you have gotten that I am the Christ, I will build my church. And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And then because you have the keys, whatsoever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And whatsoever you loose on earth shall be loose in heaven. Now understand this. You cannot command when you have not been given the keys. You cannot receive the keys when you have not been established as Peter. And you cannot be Peter when you have not discovered who Christ is. So, your discovery of the person of Jesus is what establishes you in the place of authority, where the keys are given to you that helps you to bind and loose. We will continue this. God bless you.